important information I can write down next to you.
Sweet.
Yeah. We're also in Berlin. It's almost like a place of collateral trauma, and it's also most place where most healing happens as well. A lot of really exceptional, energy healing therapists, somatic therapy. A lot of somatic dances are actually invented here. Like the founders, they all went through the whole process, try everything, and then develop their own version of it. There's a lot of healing happening here as well. So we're really just at the center. I also have the feeling that Berlin might be the spiritual center of Germany. Like a lot of ayahuasca trips are happening nearby. Like people taking drugs.
Yeah.
Don't know if that helps, but some become spiritual, some become crazy.
Yeah, for sure. I think the setting is very important with drugs, right? Like all these recreational drugs is like when you're taking them for fun or just be around with friends, like, I mean, it's not to judge anybody, but like, I just don't see the point. Like, like I can have fun with friends without taking drugs. And if I would take some substances, it would be just for go deep within myself with help of that medicine or like, and just to not to like waste this the moment like it's not maybe waste, maybe they are like, maybe I'm just too straightforward, and there are ways to feel healing and feel yourself even if you are having fun or even if you're in the party. But like we also get to the state where I don't even know if you can actually take any benefits out of that state.
So, without intention.
I think when you don't set the intention, it's just a waste, kind of. But I'm also like, sometimes I'm really like black and white.
We're into healing, there are people who, but there's also a loop. There's also negative loops in healing. You could do spiritual bypassing, but you could also do healing bypassing very easily. If you set goal as being healed, and everything you work on is towards the trauma, the pain you have, and sometimes you don't see the light, don't see the fun, don't see the joy part. And I didn't understand this part years ago, but I see the people who take recreational psychedelics, a lot of them are not so unaware as I thought. And when I have deep talks with them, I realize that they are aware of this loop of healing bypassing. And they think, it's a healthier way for them. It probably really is a healthier way for them to not take healing as a goal, but to focus on joy and let healing comes along.
Yeah, that's
right. Healing
really
bypassing.
reasonable. Yeah,
we can be easily addicted to healing, especially in the beginning. We look for external help and here and there, and the therapists do things for us, so we also do a lot of self-work, but we overanalyze, so we're running those loops. And this whole cognitive loop we have is just for us to let go, look away, focus on joy, gratitude, and love again. Some people could just make that switch because they don't overthink, they're not analytical like kids. A lot of times they can let go super quickly because they don't analyze about it. But if we are analytical animals, we think in this way, we almost have to go a big way around to round up the philosophy around healing, so we can focus on joy again.
Yeah, that's so nicely said. Yeah, it's very true. I feel like that maybe the story that really applies to me, because
healing
often
bypassing.
I forget that, or I don't forget, but I get so caught up with my mission that it's really hard to do other things. Mainly because not only because I'm like strict with myself, but I do have a problem to have fun sometimes. You know, I just like, I really don't feel like going out. I really don't feel like dancing. Like I do feel like dancing when I'm at home and I dance. It's okay. It comes very spontaneously. But like being exposed, it's not something good for me right now. So I can't really just be exposed out there and like feel free. And especially when I'm not with I think if I have it's like my friends are my safe net. Like, you know, when you're in your group, you can just be a completely different person. Someone like taps into you and you're just like, you're just different. You're just more authentic self, right? And when you're with people...
You have good friends.
I have amazing
friends.
Oh my God. I can just be real me. And they don't judge me. They accept me. And even if they judge me, I tell them, don't judge me. Love me the way I am.
It's definitely a resource.
It's very good. But they're just not in the same country, and sometimes we are in contact, but it's different when you're not physically present with each other and sharing your life moments together. Like I know they're always gonna be there for me, and same the other way around. But on the other hand, I do really miss them in my life, and it's kind of nothing can replace that, right? Because friends had always been my very solid ground. I don't have a supportive family in the way I know supportive family or way I imagine. So friends had been always my everything. So, and then once this is like taken away from you, or it's my decision, obviously, then I found it really hard. Also just to be who you are, because I oftentimes feel like I'm too much. I can be too much or not enough at the same time. And then if I am who I am, it's not often interesting with people. It's too much for them. You know, the topics that I bring, it's simply too much for most people that I know. Or
do you talk about death and cancer so much as I do?
The death, for sure.
Yeah, right.
Cancer, not so much. The only in the spectrum of how this is the result of our inner disalignments, and this is the result of, I'm just like quoting other people, but I just believe in them, like what they say. It's like, it's so true to me. Like it's like, it makes so much sense what you say. I did not get to this knowledge by my own, but it totally resonates, and I feel it, that it's just the truth. So all these emotional states that affect our physical bodies, and repressed anger is, I think they say that it's the most common reason. Cancer in women, at least.
Mostly psychosomatic. More diseases are psychosomatic than we think. You know, if I talk to friends who are actually a physician or doctor for many years, and they all come to the conclusion that most of the patients they have are having symptoms caused by emotional issues, no matter what they're there for, but especially chronic illnesses. If not like they have a car accident, but most things are caused by emotions.
I mean, I also have my body as an example. I've been suffering with migraines since I'm a little kid. And then, I mean, by now I know that it's like, why would I have a migraine when I'm 10 years old? Like, it's like, there must be something off. And like, I have a chronic back pain that it's been like, I don't know, 17 plus years now. And a lot of things that are like, okay, now I know if it's chronic.
Back pain and migraine are very typical psychosomatic symptoms.
Yeah. But I still didn't manage to relieve that. You know, it's a little better maybe, but like it's not gone. Even though I now know as an information that okay, I don't have to go to the doctor for this, and anyway, I don't really trust the conventional medicine for a reason. But still, like, it's so hard. Real changes are really hard, and finding the real, you know, also really overwhelming nowadays that you had nothing. Now we have so much information. Like, I can literally access every information I want to know. It's really overwhelming. I don't know what's trustful and what's not. Like, a trust is such an important component when we do this work, right? Like, I need to trust the technique. I need to trust the method and the person to the certain point, at least, right? And I like things that we see online. It's like, we don't know. I don't know, like, what's the intention behind it, and I don't know if my situation and my state is being used by someone to like promote things or you know, to sell things. And that is a really like something that is always back of my mind, like
so this is a messy,
it's really messy.
It's a messy world.
Also don't know which one you're gonna choose, right? Like, okay, I've got this method, that method, I'm trying everything. Oh, I mean, I shouldn't try everything. Oh, I should maybe stick with one thing. And
I feel like in those moments, like, no one, if you just use your brain to analyze, you're not going to come to a meaningful conclusion. You really just have to trust your body and trust your intuition. And if you don't have intuition, you know, you're more fucked.
Simple as that.
And but either way to develop it, you can try around until you develop this intuition. You set as an intention, develop that. But the inner guidance is most the key. A lot of people who come to me, they really told me that they just look at my picture to decide. Like, they didn't read anything I wrote 100 hours on my website. And they look at the picture and feel if their body is expanding or contracting. Simple as that. If your body is expanding, that's yes. If your body is shrinking, it's no. And they have developed their intuition to that point, so they can decide right away with their body. And there are ways to amplify this. And like, you could use a pendulum. You could use those water rolls to see if they cross, but those are not magics, because it's eventually just an amplifier of your body. It's that you are judging it. Your body is making a certain discernment, yes or no, and then sometimes it's not clear to you, and you just use this to amplify to see what your body. The biggest final supercomputer instrument is this thing. So if you have that, it's a lot easier. Basically,
I think I do have, of course. It's
of
more
course
about how much.
Otherwise, you won't find me.
But it's hard. It's I feel like my to speak with modern terms, my nervous system is like not in the right. Maybe right and wrong is not the accurate way to describe it.
You're correcting yourself by overthinking it.
Dysregulated.
Yeah.
So like, I do find it hard to, like, make decisions or
just follow your heart. Just go for
my body, because then my mind comes in, because my mind is like so active, it's so reactive. It's anyway like going on, and it's always like coming in without asking any permission. And then, even though I recognize it, it's still very hard. You know, all these things that, I mean, I should give myself the credit, to be honest, that by now, at least I'm recognizing it, all of that.
Right.
It was not...
Big step.
It's a very big step, right? Yeah.
It's a big step, yeah.
And then I also need to trust that, like, I got here where I am now with so much effort, I didn't have any other information rather than intuition that I knew. Like, you always know, right?
Yeah.
And then now if I got here, I can also get somewhere else too. It's just gonna take time and more work, and I'm very excited for that, and I'm really motivated to do it.
I used to have a client who had cancer, and she had like a 12-centimeter tumor in her uterus, and she went through, of course, the same journey. No matter what you have in your body, it's just message that we need to decode and we need to understand. And she went to her self-healing therapist and did a lot of meditation from Joe Dispenza. And then she followed a different person called Jerry Sargent. Anyways, a lot of self-work put inside, and she came for a QHT session as well. And she said, I wouldn't trade my journey with anything in the world, because it's so beautiful. I wouldn't mind to do it again. Yeah. And I don't wish it on anyone, but I love it. It's really like that.
Yeah. It's so crazy, right? That most people say that.
Yeah, and her tumor disappeared.
Yeah.
Of course, right?
Not anymore, I'm surprised.
Yeah, and and if you see those healing examples around you more and more, you start to trust more easily. One thing I do, I still do, I did much more, like when I was in bad shape, is watching healing testimonials on YouTube. It's really motivating. Because everyone has had a more serious shit than you.
Yeah. So you're also like, okay, that's a nice perspective.
Yeah, and then I like to watch a lot of testimonials from Joe Dispenza, because a lot of really heavy illnesses, like and like autoimmune illnesses, diseases, and cancer, late stage, like Parkinson, basically nothing is treatable. And then they do this meditation, they trust, they give up, and then they surrender, and then they just open themselves up for and invest fully into an idea, and then they get result within a couple of months. They get result, and then many of them after, say, like big, like a couple of months and 1 year, and the symptoms just go away, and everyone's super shocked. I like the part in the she said, and they're all like, and then I go to the doctor and they found nothing.
That part is
and nothing, and the people start to cry.
Yeah,
and people start to cry. And they think it's a miracle. Is it really a miracle? But I know it's not a miracle, because I worked for it.
Yeah.
And they didn't see the work I put inside. Anyone who put that amount of work inside themselves, they're going to receive this miracle. And I a lot of times it's just, 15 minutes talk, and I cry so much in the morning with it. Like, I listen to the best motivational speech.
I love to start the day like this too. I listen to Joe Dispenza quite a lot. In the past, I could not listen a lot, because I was like, there were some meditations that his voice annoyed me so much that
I know.
I could not concentrate.
I know.
Like when he makes it like like when he tries it in exaggerating a little bit, and I'm just like, oh my God, Anna, don't. Just stay centered. You're here for a reason. Don't think about it. But
focus on now. Yeah. The space out around the space. I just listened to it this morning.
Nice. Yeah, it's good. And then later,
it's
I went back and it was completely fine.
it is like that.
Now I can listen.
It's not because I can recognize basically where those materials are filtered by a human being, and they have their human side inside, and obviously the whole organization makes a lot of money, but think about it, the part of us that is resisting this ego part of the the healer is still our ego. And then like we need to separate it to see which part of me is getting irritated, like behind this irritation is there light and hope, and is it worth it for me to put my irritation first aside and look into it and see if I can get something out of it and focus on the things I want to get. Yeah, I remember when I was 20 something and I was digging into all the religions, all the philosophies, and somehow it's really hard for me to fully fall for one single religion. I find them all to a certain point creepy. We didn't grow up with religions in China, and there's we were told as a child that we're going to every religion is a brainwash. Of course, and then we didn't have religion. We also didn't have spirituality. Like didn't get any of that. But they're also so interesting, and I was looking into it, and being afraid to be brainwashed, and I couldn't let myself fall into it. So I don't see the whole picture either. None of the religion I had the whole picture. And then I met this professor, and he when I talked to him, I felt like he was probably the most enlightened person I have ever encountered. And when I talked to him about metaphysics, he told me that he joined 3 religions and quitted. Like he was born Christian, and then he quit that, and then joined another one called Baha'i, and then quit that, and joined like Buddhism, and then basically quit that again. And just it was so inspiring for me to hear. And I said, like, you're a very intellectual and analytical person. How could you just go and trust God exists? And he said, it's not like I trust. I try to trust, and I experience everything with a quote in my head. Only in that way you can really decide. You only when you fall inside you can really decide, because you have the full experience. I found that so inspiring, and the idea is so profound that I could experience this world, letting myself go so much, but still have a quote in my head whenever I experience something and see something. I think that's a life attitude. Yeah, like keeping the analytical mind alive, but still let go, just to have the full experience.
What if? Like I always say, like, I don't have to believe in this, but what if? Like, we know when the sentence just starts like that. What if?
Yeah.
And then it doesn't matter what follows. And then I said, like, I don't have to believe in it, but what if this is true? Yeah. What if
there's something inside?
Something inside. Like, is there something I'm missing out? Is there something that I can, I don't know, like know more, have more experience, later decide whether this is for me or not.
Right.
It's a very good way of exploring, I think, and being able to step into something new.
Yeah. And
I was far away from that for many years because I grew up in Christian Orthodox society and a family, and I was also a religious person since I was in my mid-teenage, because that's just simply how I knew the world.
And
like,
your family as well?
As well. I mean, basically, I've been forced to go to the church and everything as a kid. Like, kids back then, I don't know right now, but didn't really have much choices. You had to do what they would say, and kids didn't have well, yeah, it was not the best way of how kids should be raised in anywhere, basically. But yeah, then this it later became like, oh, well, you know, like you've been forced, but then later you could get used to it, and then you internalized, and you think it's yours. It has never been mine, but I've internalized it, and I was just like, yeah, and I do everything in a full commitment. So I did that as well in a full commitment, and then I later just like, no, this is really not for me.
We're like coming from two sides, like, you know, we didn't have inspiration for spirituality at all, and you guys got way too much input about spirituality, and in the end, like, you have to, you know, almost let go and get rid and of the information to grow, to find your own connection with divine.
Yeah, it was exactly like that. Also, like this Orthodox Christian, it's very brutal. You know, it's not, if you think about it, like, I don't know, people are interpreting things differently, right? And right now, it's all about punishment, and, you know, it's very heavy. It's a burden. Like, it's not like when I compare it to Buddhism, even though Buddhism is a philosophy, it's still like a love-based. It's more like human-friendly, not to comfort you, but just to respect you, to appreciate you. And in a Orthodox Christianity, it's not like that, or at least the way we're using it, it's not like that. And it's a lot of guilt, shame, and punishment, and fear of being in hell, and fear of like...
There's something to disappoint you about. I want to tell you the true side of the story is that Buddhism is a mess in Asia. It's a mess. It's, of course, the best part of it get, you know, like spread to Western world, and then, you know, like, and then people talk about Zen and Buddhism and Buddha, like that's a true version of it. But you know what contaminated is the human side of it. It's the philosophy itself mostly is pure, it's innocent. You know, like, and then like it's the human structure, the human organization around it, and made it worse. Buddhism was used by, you know, Japanese religion back then, like together with the government. It was also like they're basically like using temples to make money, like collect the money. And Chinese, you know, back then, the ancient dynasties, they also worked with Buddhism temples, and then they built new structure around it. They tell people also in Buddhism there's heaven and hell, and there's God, there's like king of God, and then there's a hell, and there's a person who just sit there like, you know, like almost like working for the government, and then writing down who dies and who's supposed to die, who's not supposed to die. And the bad people, of course, would die first, and then they define what's bad people. And then there's ghosts in white clothes and white and in black clothes, and they will go together at night, and then they go to collect that person. And there's certain rules you write down, like what you need to follow in order not to be collected and then go into light. It's the same.
It's a mess.
Same.
Yeah, it's the same. Yeah, okay.
Same. It's the same.
Yeah.
Like you just this. The idea of Buddhism in the beginning was just meditation. I mean, there's a reason that the Buddha himself didn't write down anything, right? And they don't want this whole idea to get so overly interpreted and by so many people in so different versions. And you're supposed to do the meditation and find out yourself from your own version of it.
Yeah,
and like, you know, like but they talk about the Buddha nature. And that's something within us. It's not something you have to find through a religion. And same as the Holy Ghost and the idea of divine in Christianity is also in us.
Yeah. I
Like
think
we-
it's so, like, really, it's about how you read, like how much wisdom you have to interpret things, like how you interpret things when you read something. Right? Like I think Jesus said that the God is within us, but then we don't think that that's just what he said because it's not convenient. You know, like so many, the words can be read in so many different ways, and you read where you are at, right? It's like you need to have the wisdom to be able to read a certain text and to understand what it truly means.
And besides, as long as we give it a name, we give it a word, we lose part of it already. You know, we stay away. We come from experiential level to a, you know, thinking, cognitive, analytical level. We lose part of the experience. You know, when I tell you, you know, I feel loved, and there's really just probably 10% of the information that comes through because you don't feel loved in the same way as I feel loved. How much of it is actually conveyed through words? It's very. Also, you know, when we're sitting together next to each other, 80% of the communication is not from the words we use. It's actually come from how we sit next to each other, and like how our body smooth, and the pulses in between, and it's really from like a, you know, like statistically, actually communication mostly conveyed by body language.
Yeah, I mean, it's also like it's a language that anyway it's limiting, no matter what. Also, we're using words that have certain meanings in our mind that we never question that anymore. You know, like overused words, especially
Like God.
like God, depression.
Exactly.
Okay, you don't know what I mean when I say that.
Right.
Not you, but you generally, like.
Yeah, even my depression must be different than your depression. People sometimes look for that agreement, just a sense of connection so much, so they feel relieved when they're tagged now with depression, with ADHD. They feel like, oh, finally there's a name for this, so that I can find more people with this.
Yeah, and the validation as well, right?
Validation, but the act of validating it actually a lot of times make it worse.
Yeah.
Because now you think it's legit, and our brain goes there more easily actually in this way.
I was seeking for this so much. I was just like, I would love to know what it is. You know, like
what I have,
the word or the sentence or a page or whatever it is to like. How would you name it? Like, what would you say what it is? Like, what? Like, tell me. So then it's like somehow in our brain it also makes it easier, right? Or then you think, once I know what it is, maybe I can find the ways a bit easier how to approach this a certain issue or whatever you're facing. But maybe it's all illusions.
I feel like, you know, people like us, like highly analytical and smart, sometimes in good way, sometimes in bad way. There's no way around. It's not like we can just look away and not look into it. It's almost like we have to look into it, find the answer, and then develop another level of consciousness and forget about it. It's almost the only way out. Like, it's no way to not making this detour. And just trust my body and look away and forget about what I have and be happy. And we really have to think through and write a book about it.
Yeah. Maybe that is the way.
Yeah.
Yes.
now I learned so many kinds of hypnosis techniques, and there are very spiritual versions of therapy. There are, other than QHHT, there are also another version of it that you don't even need to speak. You get yourself really deep down, so deep, so that your analytical thinking completely stops, and then when the therapist just say super conscious, or you call it higher self, God, whatever you believe, something that means something for you, bigger than you, empowers you. I say super conscious, please take this depression away from her. And the super conscious, mostly they just say down. And it works for certain people. It works for people who are already trusting, who already give themselves really fully up to the divine, to whatever's unknown to them, to the quantum field, whatever they think it works. And if they have that connection already, especially, for example, for like very, very religious people, it works.
Wow.
And
so powerful.
It's powerful. I wish it could. My body, my mind could work that way. And I could, even if I could temporarily turn that analytical thinking off, I would wake up and I think that didn't happen. Back then, many years ago, I think it's like in the 30s and 40s, in 1930s, 1940s, there were hypnotists who were healing massive amount of people in this way. There's Mesmer. Now it's a bad word, but Mesmer back then was a doctor, and he found this. It's called they call it an animal mechanism, and basically it's close to nowadays energy healing. But he found a way that, when people are fully believing it, it's gonna heal anyway. So basically, he was just taking a big magnet, and there was 1,000 people standing in front of him, and he's just pointing onto one, like one. Now you are healed. Now you are healed. Now you are healed. And those people would all fall into hypnosis, but more like meditation, more like it's like almost like social pressure. Then everyone's doing this, they also do this, and they would go home, and a lot of people actually would heal from it because they fully believe in this power.
Yeah, the beliefs.
Right.
That's so important.
Yeah, back then it's easier. There's no internet, and it's also very religious people.
Yeah.
Back then it's different.
Yeah. Yeah, it is definitely difficult. Even though I say that I believe, but do I fully? I can't really check. You know what I mean? It's also like so, like things are pretty fresh, and I'm always transforming. Never the same, right? Like there, like so many times, like new information is coming. I'm like molding and adapting myself and my beliefs and my things, like. But to be honest, deep down, I always believed that there was this like field. Like this now when we say a quantum field, but like I believe that there was a certain level of consciousness that if you could achieve that, you would achieve literally everything. And I was always kind of aware of it, but now it was more like it was really kind of hidden. I didn't give so much space. Now it's like becoming a little more and more.
But you remember the time you had it when you were a child?
I do have it. Yeah. Of course, I remember everything, and I was like, I think I was. I don't want to say special in terms of like making myself special, but like I was a little more in tuned, I think, as a kid too. I could now, like from this perspective. Back then I couldn't tell, of course, but like I spent so much time outside, and I loved it to connect with things. I loved it to be alone in the forest. I would sit there forever without any distractions. I didn't need anything. I would just sit staring at the space, and it was not the dissociation. It was the pure joy to be there. And like I was like, and you know, like things that I would feel and things that I would think, I now know that this was like a part of a bigger thing, or like higher thing, you know.
Yeah.
But it was so normal. It was also very natural, organic, and then it got buried. And then now I'm trying to like, come on, you can still come back.
Of course, you know, most people who come to do sessions here are people who have like almost like a not spiritual tendency, but they have developed their intuition in some way, and mostly not through religion. But when I talk to someone among my clients who are on this healing journey and have found this higher guidance, they can always tell me that they felt something different when they were a kid. Like they felt more than adults around them. They had a vivid dreams. They had out of body experience. They had like now we have a name for it. They call the mystical experiences, spiritual experiences. Back then there were no names like that, and they're just weird things happen to them. Good things happen to them all the time. Like they hear voices, and the voice give them guidance and lead them to something, and something magical happen. Mostly good things. A lot of people, if they have gone really far with the healing and have found this guidance, they had that guidance all along. It's really seldom that someone who just really like 3D as a child, and suddenly with 30 something, and they found this inner connection with any kind of guidance. You always just have it. Yeah, like it's almost something you can't get rid of it. Of course you can ignore it away, but eventually it's a superpower, and if you want to get it back, you can always get it back.
So sweet how it works. Just to think about that there is always something for you who like cares for you and like loves you in that way and wants the best for you and guides you. It's such very heartwarming.
I think so too. I before I discovered this connection with divine, I was always looking for human support, like look for a therapist who can help me, boyfriends who can help me, friends who can pull me out of this deep hole. And eventually the maximum I could imagine is okay, like I help myself. Wow, but where do I get that energy? How can I pull myself out of a deep hole when I'm in this deep hole myself? And I use all, there's only this in my imagination, and there's only so much energy in me. I can barely help another human being, and I could just have enough air that I could float above water. And how can I get myself out of water? And I found the answer is this divine connection, like unlimited energy waiting for you, and just for you to tap in is really there all the time. And it's almost like a parents I wish I had, could just ask for love, and it's always showering with more than you need. And yeah, just you're about to find it. You're very close. It's close.
I feel it. I feel this like sparks. Like I feel like oh my God, I'm so close. I mean, you know, it's not like the work is ever gonna be done, but at least to the point when I will be certain that I will say like, okay, I have arrived somewhere, you know, just a little more solid ground.
Yeah.
That would be very helpful. So then I feel like it might be a little easier than to like help myself out, and maybe even others, you know, but first myself. I can't help with anybody. It's just me first. But yeah, I feel it. You know, I don't know how to describe it, but this year is the year when I really feel it, that I'm close. Before that, I couldn't feel it. I was far away, with mentally maybe. And now I feel like, yeah, I'm also getting ready for it. You know, I'm just like, okay, I deserve this, and I want to be ready to receive it, not just to like push it away, but
Right.
finally.
Yeah.
Took me 37 years.
It's also just recently I have the deep realization that it's so unlimited, it's so almighty that we literally could just ask for anything. And at first I understand, and because I didn't grow up with, you know, Christian religion, it's already far away concepts for me. But I first understand why you guys pray.
We don't understand that either.
But now I start to understand, because, you know, like eventually God is within yourself, and you have this connection. You have your own religion, and you are allowed to pray in your heart, in your own church, and you're actually supposed to pray to your own God in a way that, you know, like you don't need to be shy. You just take it. You could just wake up in the morning like, hey, give me some signs, heal me, please. Like, you know, like you give me some signs, like help me out, like, you know, give me some hints, you know, make good things happen for me, please. I mean, be nice, but you could just ask for things. You could just keep asking, and it just keep happening. And it's honestly, you just allow this, and things will just happen to you. You know, like you know, neurologically, you could also say that you put your attention on positive happening around you. And so you catch those moments, so you catch the right people, catch the right resources, and you, because you're in something, but you know.
And you keep this feeling as long as you can then.
Right. And then in manifestation work, it is, you know, they call it like tuning into your potential into the quantum field that you want to manifest. And in the church sense, it's like you pray to your own God. But they all seem to be the same thing.
They all seem to be the same thing, I know, yeah. Yeah, I think it was a little bit of misleading in many religious, but like in the end, everything serves the same purpose, in my opinion. And there is no like defined path. What are you gonna take? Like in my, I mean, I'm not a religious person anymore, but how I grew up, it was all like you either Orthodox Christian or
nothing.
there's no help for you. And then also like not so much empowering you as a person, like you're miserable, small being that you always have to pray for God that will do something for you. So it's like not believing in yourself and the power within you that you have. This is completely
what they try to teach might be that we're supposed to surrender to bigger intelligence, and this God is not really out of us, but it's more like we're same thing. And we're supposed to surrender to the bigger plan because it's already really good. We can trust it because, you know, if we plan with our head, it's like it's almost like a parent that really, really loves its child and wants to plan out a holiday for the child, but it's already include the playground, already include ice cream, and the child in the morning like, Mama, I want ice cream, and start crying and fighting. And but the child didn't know that they're supposed to take the bus ride, and then they supposed to go to, you know, see the lake, and in the end he get ice cream anyway, but the day is even more fulfilling than ice cream. It's a little bit like that. Now I understand it from outside of religion, that a bigger plan sounds like that and feels like that. And what they try to teach, that it's probably too early. It's not like before someone who has experiences to relate, to resonate with it yet, and then forcing this information inside, and it's confusing.
It is. And also a lot of forcing and a lot of not giving a person a free choice to decide. You know, that I think that is also not the nicest. I'm still glad that that was what, like, my story, to be honest, because it taught me a lot, and I think it's still like it was based on like kindness and be nice to humans and think about something bigger than you, and I think it's not a bad foundation to have as a human. And then even like it was still hard for me because the separation was not easy. Like, of course, something that I believed for so many years, it's not like that you just like kick it out, but I knew, like, in order to find myself I had to lose this because it was not mine. And then
and eventually it will become an inspiration for your own version of it.
I think so too. I think it was great the way it was. And then also like developed a lot of resistance towards any religious or spirituality, because back then I didn't know so much about differences with spirituality and religious. It was like, for me, all blended, all the same thing. And then just like if anybody would mention something, like everything was sounding like woo woo little, you know, like I'm just like no, thanks, not interested. But there were like a lot of years where I had this like blockage of like not wanting anything to enter in me, because I was also scared. I was like, oh, I don't want to be a vessel of this another crap thing, you know, like I just wanna,
especially if we're at a vulnerable state and we're capable of brainwashing ourselves so easily. And you know, if we fall into a whole metaphysical system, and our whole reality get shifted almost. I'm thinking what would work for you the best today. What would work best for you? Because, you know, like there are work in hypnosis that more like shadow work. Like if you're ready, if you have certain triggers and you know it already, something that's on your mind that's very urgent, no matter it's sorrow or like irritation, as long as you have any trigger in front of you, we can trace back to that, from that trigger to the somatic level and to all the memories related to that trigger, and then we transform all those memories until we create another narrative around this. So every time you have the same trigger, you can almost go beyond, override it. So, you know, think about this as programming. Basically, it's still your own creation. Like, if you know, like mostly we trace back to childhood events. The earlier events, earlier the events are, the more weight they carry. The earlier events, if we can transform it into a different narrative, our whole neuron path would change. That's what we try to do. It's much more effective in hypnosis than by talking. Basically, we working with the back end codes, and so that's one way. But each time we can only focus on one shadow. You know, whatever is pressing on your heart at this moment is mostly the shadow we're supposed to work with. Your body's ready with. There's the shadow work, and the other part, another version of this, I call it light work. Much more gentle, much more like resource oriented. Like QHHT is something that I put it into the category of light work. Basically is about creating the resources in you, creating the spiritual connection in you, you know, open yourself up so the joy, the gratitude, the connection feeling automatically come in. We don't care. I mean, if there's any trauma or shadow or unintegrated negative emotions that come up, and that would just get absorbed and transformed by the light automatically.
But God, that's magic.
But we don't focus on the trauma. We focus on getting resources, and it's also very magical because it's very you know, like it's very, very gentle, and like if anything's supposed to come up and getting transformed, it would just come up by itself. But we don't force healing. We don't force healing. The first way sometimes is you know, like for reaching a effect within a short time is definitely very like efficient. You know, if someone come in and they're actually looking to fix this migraine, and in a few sessions as possible, I would go with the first way, especially if they are currently in a good state, like they have resources in their life, they go home, they, you know, they have supportive families, and you know, things are going more or less right with them. They can easily think of 10 events in the past 1 month that make them happy, and they have the resources already. I'll go for the shadow work because it's very effective to bring all the problems on the surface, because I trust this person can deal with it already. But if this person doesn't have all the resources yet, I would focus more on the light work and bring up all the resources, all the light, all the joy, all the gratitude, spiritual connection, intuition, and then give them. But we don't focus on getting a result right away. It's just about bringing up so they always have something with them, whatever happens. And like QHHT is more in the second category. So which one does your body feel like